Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Reliable Source. I'm Jonelle.
And I'm Kirsty, and we're both journalists in Europe's biggest newsroom, BBC News. And we work on the BBC News TikTok account as well. And every week, we come here to tell you about the stories that we've been the most obsessed with over the last 7 days. This week, we have got the tea from on board the viral 9-month cruise from TikTok.
And Clean Girl Aesthetic is out. Yeah, it's out apparently. And Mob Wife is in. That means big fur jackets, leather everything, and lots of gold jewellery. But is it cultural appropriation? And should we be glorifying organised crime?
And what's it like to see your mum go to jail for a crime that she didn't commit? We're going to speak to the son of one of the women who was at the centre of the post office scandal.
I lived two lives. I lived the life before post office scandal and after. And I remember the life that we used to have. My parents deserve all that again.
This is Reliable Source. Let's go. Okay, I want to tell you a story. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The 9-month cruise. If I say that to you, what does it mean to you?
I know about the 9-month cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen.
Would you say you're like beginner, intermediate, or advanced level 9-month cruise?
I'm probably beginner because I heard about it and I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is too much drama and chaos. And I just have that much. I've got too much of that in the news there already. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to know more.
Okay, well, you're going to know more and you have no choice. So this is basically the story of a cruise which is going around the world for 9 months. You can be on it for a bit, you can be on it for the full 9 months, but it is already set sail last month, and it's in the month that it's been going, it's gone so viral. I'm talking like billions and billions of views on TikTok. I'm deep in it, you're not. So if you're not, let me get you up to speed, babes. So it's called the Ultimate World Cruise, right? It's this ship called Serenade of the Seas that Royal Caribbean advertised. They advertised it for years. They were like, right, this is going to set sail December 2023. It goes around the world. It goes to all of the continents, 11 wonders of the world, in fact. And you can pay either, I think $53,000 is the cheapest price for like the smallest little cabin.
For one person or for the cabin?
For one person. And then over $100,000 is the highest price for like the higher tier of membership or kind of like holiday. And basically people signed up for this. They just thought, you know, why not? I'll go on a 9-month cruise. So when people started hearing about this concept of the 9-month cruise, they were like, this is fascinating. Like, surely this is going to be chaos. Like, everyone's going to get into arguments on there. You're all contained on this one ship. People will fall in love. People will fall out. Everyone was like hungry for some goss from this cruise. So anyone that posted that they were on the 9-month cruise on TikTok, they just went viral. They literally blew up. And loads of the people on there have now basically become like overnight celebrities, like that, because everyone's so invested. They're like, we want to know what's happening. Is there any arguments? Yeah, what's going on? Like, what's the food like? What are the sites like? People are so invested on this 9-month cruise that the regular people who went on it for a little break, a little getaway, presumably, and posted a fun little TikTok are now viral.
I kind of love that though. I think that's like the power of the internet, because I feel like that is the internet. It is regular people becoming celebrities in a way.
There's so many different rumours going on about this cruise. People are like, there's so many different scandals that people are trying to make rumours about. So I actually spoke to 2 people who were on it for the whole 9 months. And firstly was Angie.
I lost both my parents when they were 65 from cancer. So just this idea for me of that retirement is a guarantee is not something I've really held on to. And then I also, after a few months after my mom passed, I found out I have a gene mutation that puts me at an elevated risk for developing cancer. I don't want to put anything off because something could happen tomorrow to any of us.
I also spoke to Brandy, another girl who was on the cruise, and she literally had a corporate job. She was living in America. She just decided, you know what, I don't want to do it. Her parents were like, we're going on a 9-month cruise. And she was like, I'm coming. Brandy and Angie that I spoke to, both of them were not posters before. They did not post, like, they weren't influencers, they weren't anything. Now they've literally got like hundreds of thousands of followers. I spoke to them the other day and they were like, yeah, this isn't the first interview I've done. Like, I've done interview. I was like,
yeah,
you guys you went for this relaxing holiday and now you're literally like famous.
When people started making videos about us is when it started to get really strange. Like, and I think now that we've had a few more weeks to like digest it, it is still strange when you start to think about it too much. But especially at that point, it was like, oh my gosh, people are doing videos about us. That's weird and kind of cool, but very weird. And then, you know, friends from back home were like, I was just forwarded your video from my niece. It was just such a weird snowball effect.
But on the whole, she said she's enjoying like watching the videos. She finds it kind of funny. But she was saying like it's really funny because people don't think that we hang out with each other. Like the people on the cruise, she was like, of course we hang out with each other. We've been on here for a month. And then when people see each other in their videos, they're like, oh my God, they crossed paths. And they're just all sat there like, yeah, of course we did. We're on holiday together.
Or like a Black Mirror episode. I don't know, where we're living in it and people get a vote in who comes next. Like
what's now happening is some people, creators on TikTok, have seen how viral the cruise has gone and are now booking to go on the cruise.
Not shocked.
For content.
Not
so, like,
shocked.
They are literally getting on,
literally
making
like,
TikToks.
all the hype houses that we see.
Exactly
you know,
the same,
it's like
exactly the same.
all of a hype house, by the way, guys, is when creators go and live in one house together and they make loads of content, like so much.
Yeah, so this guy was like talking, he made this TikTok being like, someone needs to make a reality show about the cruise, like I'm so obsessed with it. And then next thing you know, it was actually a company sent him out there. They funded his trip on the cruise and was like, just make content for us. So he is now got on. So then I spoke to Angie about that and here's what she said.
this isn't happening. Like no one's gonna do that. But he's here and he's lovely.
I don't know what to wear. I didn't bring a suit. 1 second. You ready for this? Because I'm a genius. I'm a baby penguin.
He is here. It did happen. It's still weird, and I think he would fully say it's also weird.
But it was just so interesting to me that like the social media aspect has gone so big that it can be negative and it can be a bit like weird and people are making too much content. And they also said that they feel like people are trying to make drama sometimes, like I was gonna say the fans, but just like the viewers at home are trying to make drama. So there were accusations of like, oh my God, guys, it's flooded or it's gonna be cut short early. And I put these to Brandy. She said she's heard nothing about it being cut short early. She said that there was a slight leak on a really rainy day, like it didn't flood. You know, she feels like people are trying to push like drama just for their own entertainment.
The itinerary has changed at least 2 times, maybe 3 times, due to social unrest around the world. Like we were originally going to Russia and Ukraine. Obviously, we're not going there. And then we're also going to Israel and we're not going there. But Royal Caribbean was very upfront about, letting us know that the changes happened. I mean, I want to be safe.
By the way, yesterday when I was looking at all of this 9-month cruise stuff, I did email Royal Caribbean to ask them about all of the stuff we just mentioned, but they haven't replied to my email yet.
Well, I'm going to be tuning in. I'm using TikTok as my latest addition to iPlayer. As my entertainment platform streaming service. I'm going to be streaming this cruise.
The thing is, you see it from every different perspective. So, like, the content will never end. You have so many people on that cruise. They're all going to start making TikToks if they haven't already. And you get it from every angle. So, you honestly, once you start, if you watch one video, it'll be whole feed. But we'll keep you up to date on the source with the 9-month cruise if any chaos does unfold.
If you're looking for your next podcast obsession, we think you might like Murder They Wrote with Laura Whitmore and Ian Sterling.
You can hear some of the wildest, jaw-dropping crime stories on BBC Sounds. Anyways, where were we?
You've obviously seen the news about the post office scandal. It's been in the news for a couple of weeks. Basically, what happened was, in the noughties, people that worked at post offices, they're called postmasters or postmistresses. They were accused of stealing money, a lot of money, actually, and it all ended up being this faulty computer software called Horizon, which was making it look like money from post office branches were being taken out by the people that worked there.
Yeah, and loads of them ended up going to prison, didn't they? So this was in the news in the last couple of, well, it was in the news for years, but in the last couple of weeks there was this ITV drama about it, which kind of like made it way more famous, and loads of people heard about it for the first time, and about all of these normal people who literally worked in a post office, owned a post office, and then went to prison accused of stealing. And there were hundreds of them, like nearly 900 people were accused of stealing that didn't steal anything. So Horizon was the software that malfunctioned and meant that it looked like a lot of people had stolen money when they hadn't. And the company that made that software, Horizon, is called Fujitsu. There's currently a massive inquiry going on into that company and into how this all happened, and MPs asking Fujitsu a lot of questions.
I'm going to scooch over in a little bit because we've got a guest coming in a second. His name is Adi Misra. His parents owned a post office and his mum was accused of stealing. He's told us how that affected him. She actually went to prison.
The 11th of November 2010, that's my birthday, and that's when my mum got taken away from me.
And this was only your 10th birthday as well?
10th birthday, yeah. And so my parents told me like they're going to like a special hospital or whatnot, because at that time she was pregnant with my brother too. So me being like the naive little kid in that time, I believed it. And I thought she'd be gone for like a month or so, a couple of weeks to a month. And I'll be able to see her too.
So your mum went to prison.
Yeah.
How long did she go to prison for?
She was sentenced to 15 months in prison. But it was around 4.5 months that she was in prison.
When did you find out what had actually happened? And what did she kind of say about it? Because it must have been crazy for her to be in prison and thinking, I didn't do anything. Like, has she spoken to you about what that felt like?
Yeah, she did not tell me at all. So even when she came back, she didn't tell me. She didn't want me to have that picture in my head that my mum's a criminal. It was my first year of uni. I started in 2019. Instead of me finding out from online, they told me back in 2019. And I was shocked. Like, I couldn't fathom anything that happened. I thought they were joking, but when I just typed up SEMA, not Miss Ryan, not the post office, I saw all of it. I saw everything that happened. I saw all the articles, and I couldn't get my head around it.
So in your head at this point, you were thinking, my mum went to hospital for a few months when I was younger and left me, still didn't really know what happened. And then when you're 18, you find out literally all of it at once.
Yeah. So I think it was a good 8 years that I thought my mum was in a special kind of hospital, but I found out she was in prison. Only recently I found out that the reason why my dad wasn't there sometimes because he got beaten up a couple times, and he never told me about that either. Yeah.
Why was he beaten up?
So my mum got sent to prison. My mum was actually the heart of the community back time. She was pregnant, and she was claimed to have stolen 75 grand.
£75,000.
£75,000, yeah. And everyone labelled her like the pregnant thief. And everyone knew us. Our shop that we had was like 3,000 square feet, and it was like a massive shop. Every time I finished school, all my friends come back with me to the shop. We have, like, my parents give them ice cream and whatnot. She was actually the heart of the community. Everyone knew her. When she got sent to prison, everyone found out. And when everyone found out, she stole 75 grand as well, and she was pregnant too. She was labelled a pregnant thief. And obviously my dad being associated with my mother, he got caught in the aftermath, basically. And yeah, honestly, it's astonishing. And I really hope they get the justice that, they deserve.
And when you spoke before about visiting your mum while she was in prison, like, how did that look to you and how did you feel at that point?
So I saw my mum every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. And like, I mean, I'm actually like a mummy's boy as well. I grew up with my mum. Every day I spend time with my mum, and now I only have a visitation policy to see her every 2-3 weeks, and even that for like half an hour. And once the 30-minute time comes, we have to leave. I genuinely hated it, and it didn't scar me because my parents brought me up in a way like I didn't understand the situation until 2019, like I said, but they made sure that I have that same picture, the same image of my mum before the post office scandal and after the post office scandal. They made sure that I still had the childhood I had, but the same can't be said to my brother. Before the post office scandal, I had a birthday party. Every year I had a birthday party. But with my brother, he didn't really experience that because no one wanted to be around my parents. All my mum's friends, they left her. Even when I went to school as well, my mum never picked me up. She was too scared to go outside the house to pick me up. And we never celebrated his birthday like that because no one wanted to come.
So the post office says that it's doing all it can to right the wrongs of the past, including providing compensation to those affected. It also said it fully shares the aims of the current public inquiry set up to get the truth of what happened in the past and accountability. And the government is also bringing in new laws within weeks to overturn the convictions of all postmasters in England and Wales.
So what do you want to see happen next?
I want every single person that was affected get fairly compensated, get at least the livelihood back as well. I lived 2 lives. I lived the life before post office scandal and after, and I remember the life that we used to have. My parents deserve all that again.
Thanks so much for coming and speaking with us. It's really, it's been really, really great.
Cheers. Thank you for having me as well.
I think we need a community meeting because there's too many fashion aesthetic trends on the internet right now. So we had the clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
That has been going strong since 2022. We've had it girls like Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez. And then now there's been a trend where people are saying clean girl is out, mob wife is in. mob wife. So I'm going to break down what the mob wife aesthetic kind of typically looks like. So often this aesthetic, you're seeing a fur coat, a fur jacket. You might see some animal prints here. Like Rita Ora was seen wearing a leopard print suit. Everyone was saying mob wife aesthetic, that sort of vibe. Big bouncy curls, big loud hair, beautiful hair. The makeup is bold. You have a dark lip, glamorous eyeshadow, big strong eyebrows. That's kind of the vibe we kind of go for. We've also got martinis. I know martini is a drink, but that's also part of the aesthetic. Yeah, before it was the matchas and the lattes and the cappuccinos with the clean girl, but here we're moving into a bit
Dirty
more chaotic.
Martini, olive on the stick.
Yeah.
Bite it off with the red lipstick.
Exactly.
I'm on
and
board.
lots of gold jewelry as well. Gold jewelry is heavy. You could have jewelry on every single finger, big bangles. It's luxury, but it's not too loud.
Maximalist.
Maximalist. Really, really big stuff. Also chaotic lifestyle. It's not this, morning routine, chill. No, you've got deal with the kids, deal with the husband. Like you're a busy woman, you're a boss babe attitude. Like it's also an aura as well. Bad B. That's the vibe. Sunglasses on, inside. Mysterious vibe. The woman knows what she's doing. You're on her business.
I just find it so weird how 1 week everyone's, like you said, slick back, clean gal aesthetic. The next month is this different thing. Just trend cycles are so fast and everyone's like rushing to buy all this stuff to match a new aesthetic. And then it's just a new aesthetic like the next week.
So I got in touch with Depop. Depop is basically a website or an app that you can buy things that are secondhand, usually quite aesthetically pleasing, to be honest. Like you see some nice stuff on there. I asked them if they've seen an increase in search for the mob wife trend. Okay, so we're going to start with leopard print outfits.
I'm going 25%.
25%. Are you locking in that answer?
Oh, I thought you were saying I was right. Yeah, locking it in.
Wrong. The correct answer is 213%. People are looking, 200. People are influenced.
Oh my God.
This is a global stat, by the way.
Okay, so this is worldwide.
Next one, gold hoop earrings.
Ooh, I love a gold hoop earring.
Because now silver's out for the clean. Yeah, clean girls.
Silver's out.
Silver's out. Gold is in with mob.
Okay.
Wife aesthetic.
Okay. 50%.
70% increase in gold hoop earrings.
That is crazy. So at least people are going second hand, I guess, but those numbers are wild. Like that means everyone is literally going on TikTok, changing to Depop and going, I need to buy that. I need to buy that right now.
Influenced. That they're literally being influenced. Do you know what mob stands for? Because mob stands for mobster. And according to Cambridge Dictionary, I know usually we do Oxford, but we're going Cambridge here.
Go Cambridge.
All right. Shout out Cambridge. Didn't go there, by the way. Mobster is a US word. It's an American word. It means a person, usually a man, that belongs to an organisation of criminals. And the new trend is to dress like a mobster's wife. Some people online are saying that it's cultural appropriation to be dressing up like these women that were married to these mobsters, these people that were criminals. And kind of dressing up like them is kind of like cosplay, dressing up as like a culture, and you're appropriating that because you're not, valuing that culture. One woman on TikTok, she claims that she was a former mobster's wife. She spoke about the reality of that life and she actually put it into this video.
Mob wife is not a makeup look. It's not a clothing look. You can't be forced to testify against your spouse, and it's knowing exactly what the routine is if you get a sudden knock at the door or if you get pulled over and what exactly you're supposed to do or say. So, yeah, you know what? I'm not down with it telling people what they can and cannot wear, but I'm just telling you that mob wife aesthetic is actually putting on a costume of decades of women's pain. And I was one of them.
She's basically saying that you shouldn't be glamorizing a lifestyle that is so dangerous. So I think we need to be a little bit more careful about how we're being influenced. I did see like some TikTok videos of like, it was skits of like be a mob wife and then they're carrying out a body bag.
I think there's definitely
life or death.
There's a scale because there's literally pretending to be a mob wife and dragging a fake dead body. But then there's just like, I've kind of been influenced and want a leopard print jacket and some hoops.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's different. But
Exactly. I've even seen people saying that this summer there's going to be mob wife vibe summer. So we'll see what that's going to look like. But honestly,
I can't keep up.
me neither. But I will keep up. Thanks so much for listening. And you guys can catch us on BBC Sounds, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, TikTok.
And don't forget to tap subscribe or follow wherever you're watching or listening right now, because next week we're going to be back again and you don't want to miss it. You want to be subscribed so it's sat right there in your inbox.
So for now, make sure you get your news from a reliable source.
Bye.